Holy, you're...
Yeah, I'm you. Get over it. I can't stay for long.
Okay, can I get you a cappuccino or something?
Oh man, we don't drink coffee anymore where I'm from. Listen, I actually came to give you this. It contains a list of the absolute best upcoming SteamVR games for this year and early 2022.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you coming all this way to help out, but won't it mess with the timeline or...
I gotta go, but don't worry, your timeline is already full. Let's dive straight into these awesome upcoming PSVR games that I think you'll really love, whether you're already a SteamVR user or just thinking of getting into PSVR. Let's go! Wanderer. To keep in line with that silly time travel sketch I started with, let's talk about Wanderer. Ever since I saw the first glimpse of this game on Twitter, it made me really look forward to it. I mean, how cool is that time travel mechanic alone, right? The game starts in the year 2061 when the world as we know it has collapsed, and it's up to you to travel back in time through the ages and change the course of history to fix the timeline. Get ready to meet iconic historical figures such as Nikola Tesla and many other daring explorers, respected inventors, and fearless conquerors as you take part in action scenes, solve puzzles, and try to bring the world back on the right path. The game is set to launch in Q4 of this year, so sometime in the next few months, and I'm going to be all over it when it's out. Lo-Fi. This is one I'm extremely excited about because Lo-Fi will allow you to explore a cyberpunk-like city as a police officer and promises a massive open-world sandbox adventure where you'll have plenty to do and every choice you make matters. The world has gone through an AI singularity where most humans have merged with the platform and now live their life in a virtual reality simulation. Whether you decide to do your job and arrest criminals, or accept bribes and even frame third parties for your actions in the interest of personal gains, it's all up to you. You can even spend your hard-earned credits any way you like at black market shops, dark web delivery systems, vending machines, and even at the arcade. And you'll be able to get anything from upgrades to your ship to decorations for your apartment. It's looking really great and I truly hope it's going to be good because it sounds absolutely incredible. After the Fall. After the immense success they've had with Arizona Sunshine, Vertigo Games are hard at work on their newest IP, After the Fall. This one has a big focus on intense co-op gameplay where up to 4 players will be pit against the undead in an ice-covered 1980s Los Angeles. The game will feature cross-play between PSVR, Quest, Steam, and Viveport, meaning you can gather your friends from anywhere in the world to take on this intense challenge against entire hordes of frozen zombies and huge bosses. Craft and upgrade your gear, use an array of devastating superpowers and dual-wield weapons, all with what the devs call real-life movements. And although I'm not sure what that even means, I'm still really excited to try this one out in a few months when it comes out later this year. Zenith, The Last City. I was literally just talking to my wife a few days ago how there aren't really any truly good VR MMOs, and Zenith is probably the most promising upcoming one I've seen to date. With what the devs promise will be an extremely detailed open world that makes you feel like you're actually there. The combat looks really fun and there will be lots to do and explore. You'll enter epic battles with swords, bows, and of course special abilities like lightning bolts and others, and you'll also be able to climb up any surface in the game and glide towards any corner of the map, which is one of the mechanics I enjoy the most in games like Population 1. Zenith is coming to SteamVR, Oculus Quest and Rift and PlayStation VR in late 2021. Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Tempestfall. Whether you're a fan of the Warhammer universe or not, Age of Sigmar Tempestfall is a VR title that you should be excited about. It's shaping up to be an epic adventure where you'll play as Lord Arcanum and be tasked to defeat the Nighthaunt monsters that are rising up across the mortal realms. And of course, you won't be faced with this challenge empty-handed, because you'll be able to wield devastating weapons, abilities, and magic. The game was supposed to release earlier, but it was delayed after a closed beta that was held this summer, where the devs received, quote, a lot of very cool ideas and useful suggestions, which they decided to implement, resulting in a deeper character progression system and extra perks for exploration. And while I usually hate delays, I also despise bug-riddled releases and empty-feeling experiences. So hats off to the guys at Carbon Studio for postponing the release in order to ensure they put out the best game they possibly can in Q4 of this year. Green Hell VR. If you're craving a good VR survival game right now, Song in the Smoke has recently been released and the reviews are great so far, but the visual style might not be for everyone. Well, Green Hell VR is another really awesome one that's already proven itself as a flat PC game with great realistic graphics, and now it's getting a full VR rework. It takes a simulation approach, so everything aims to be extremely realistic. You'll get dropped in the middle of the Amazon rainforest without any food or equipment. So the first challenge will be to learn how to survive, from crafting tools and building shelters to fighting basic human needs such as thirst, hunger, fatigue, and diseases, and of course tackle all the creatures you'll encounter in the jungle. Green Hell VR has recently been delayed until Q1 of 2021, but I'm not too sad about the delay since they've also announced co-op support to play with friends, which makes it 100% worth the wait. I have a few more really cool games that were supposed to release this year but are kind of MIA, so I'll just briefly mention them and update you in future videos in case we get more info on the release date. Blunt Force. Revealed almost 5 years ago, World War II shooter Blunt Force is said to be still in development, but we haven't really heard much more about it. The premise of the game is that you'll follow two parallel storylines set both before and during the war, one focused more on exploration and finding hidden clues and secret info, and the other being a full-on shooter, and these two will converge into what the devs call a thrilling conclusion. I'll let you know if I hear any new info regarding this game, but for now let's move on to the next MIA title. Ilysia. An extremely ambitious upcoming VR MMO that started on Kickstarter and got more than double the required funding, Ilysia wants to bring back the old school MMORPG charm to VR, with an absolutely massive and fully explorable open world full of challenges. It'll feature multiple races, crafting, breeding animals, and even a battle royale instance. But while it looks extremely exciting, we haven't really heard anything about it. So hopefully development is going well, because I'd love to see this one shape up to be all it promises. Lonn. I personally love a good sci-fi setting for games, and Lonn's cyberpunkish environment looks absolutely stunning and thrilling to explore. It's a story-driven experience with a deep focus on physics simulation, from a full-body IK system to natural interactions with every single object in the game world. You'll be a bounty hunter in the year 2028, where the world has turned into a tech-noir society, and you'll pretty much be forced into action after a dystopian force threatens humanity itself. It will feature puzzles, exploration, and combat, which for me sounds like the holy VR trinity. So fingers crossed that they're still working on it and we'll hear something more soon. Vertigo 2. Vertigo is still an extremely funny, quirky, and awesome VR game even after all these years. But the sequel promises to be even more. This is a single-player VR adventure, and you'll explore the depths of the quantum reactor as you try to get back home. Of course, it won't just be a walk in the park, as you'll encounter all kinds of bizarre alien flora and fauna leaking in from alternate universes, and of course the android security forces who only want to purge every form of life they encounter. Vertigo 2 will feature fully voiced characters, a rather large arsenal of unique weapons, dozens of enemy types, and most likely the same quirky humor we've come to expect. So let's see how this turns out, and I'll give you a shout if I hear news about it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, as it really helps the algorithm spread it to more people. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers, guys!